Okay, try again. Does this work in this time? I think so. I think we're okay. Sloth, how are you? Okay. Let me know if that's better. Hopefully that's better. But yeah. Take two. Pretend that never happened. Hello. I've been gone for a long time. I've been working on FanDub and big projects, but hello, we're back. To some sad news. I guess if you're watching this in the future. About 24 hours ago, well, just under 24 hours ago, after quite a long time of silence, unfortunately, we got the announcement that Missing Link was finally being put out to pasture, and yeah, everything they've worked on would be effectively gone as far as we know it. They said that Missing Link further development was being cancelled. Whether that means maybe one day it'll live again, like the content they've already worked on will live in some other form, I would really, really, really like to think that's the case. But as of right this second, the game itself is no longer being worked on. Which I just find so completely heartbreaking, and I guess we'll get into that in a second. Then about 18 hours later, I think to soften the blow, we got 7 screenshots from the Kingdom Hearts account itself about Kingdom Hearts 4. So 7 on the global and 7 on the JP account. So most of them are quite similar. However, the actual gameplay ones are slightly different, that being the very top one there and the middle right. So yeah, there is definitely some stuff to talk about, and I thought, hey, it's been a long time. I've not been live in a long time, so catch up with you guys, see if we want to have a chat. How are you? How are y'all? That's what's confusing. Like, they had 18 hours and didn't do anything immediately. And obviously they knew we'd be sad, but I really think this happened, like, so soon and caught a lot of people by surprise. I don't want to, like, dox them or anything, but you can find accounts for people that, like, the local global team working on Missing Link. And they all seem to imply they had a rough day at work yesterday. So, like, I don't think they got much warning. Sorry to say. I think this is quite a surprise to them as well. Okay. I know this has been brought up a few times, but I was mentioned, which is really kind of weird, on a blog of a man who I have no reason to doubt purporting to be the lead developer, lead programmer, I should say, of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. What was the word? It was like not like a resume per se, but sort of like a development blog, just to keep track of his own projects. That I didn't want to like dox it at the time, because I know people get so freaked out, especially when it was like so such a drought for quite a long time of news. But yeah, he was, I guess you could read it in context, he was like updating his resume, so to speak. But at the time, he had sort of like dropped this really cool mention about like everything he'd worked on, sort of like the aspects of the game that he particularly worked on, sort of the various like aspects that he programmed personally or that his team programmed. At the end, drops a really cool like link to my video going, hey, check this out, by the way, like this dumb shit Australian has summed this thing up if you want to learn more about it, which I was very honored about. Like, the images are now removed, but there you go, business career portfolio, there you go. So yeah, I didn't want to like throw attention at it even before he put this warning out, thinking that people might go a bit wild, which they did. Anyway, I actually reached out to this awesome guy, and I won't like dox the message that he sent me back, but he was kind enough to send me a message back, because I said, you know, I was really surprised and honored that you mentioned this video. Thank you so much. And he comes back saying, like, hopefully you don't mind. And seemed to, I didn't get the impression of this that he thought this was going to be cancelled. This is 2 weeks ago on the 30th of April. Hope you didn't mind the link to video. Thanks for making it. It's really great because Missing Link is a first of its kind. We took a lot of inspiration from Dragon Quest Walk, but wanted to expand on it a lot more, and it's hard to explain how the game works to those who haven't played it, so your video really hits the nail on the head in that aspect. Talks a bit about his personal life, so I want to talk about that. I can't share much else, as I did get in a bit of trouble for posting the portfolio, and don't want to get further trouble. So thanks for your support in making Kingdom Hearts content. To me, that doesn't sound like my game's about to be cancelled in 2 weeks. I haven't had any further correspondence with the guy, but I'm like, that they might have just really dropped this on everybody. Like, American team is one thing, but like the JP actual developers, like that's crazy. Crazy. And like, I know how much they've worked on that game. It seems so horrible to just throw that into the ether and just have it be gone forever. So God only, like, please let that be revived in some way. I mean, it's developed in Unreal, so one would think that, like, it shouldn't be insanely hard to port over the work they've already done. I mean, I can't imagine the GPS aspects will ever see the light of day, which is so heartbreaking, but, like, because it was fun. This is what's crazy. It was fun. It was really fun. In as much as, like, the gameplay of Dark Road, as like a big defender of the mobile games, the gameplay of Dark Road was horrific, like absolutely god awful, so antithetical to the entire like game itself and the story of the game. As much as people like, I don't think everyone loved the gameplay of Union Cross, especially like the grindier aspects. Man, in that last year, it was pretty awesome. I really liked it. Like, we're getting tons of jewels. You could get like a lot of stuff that you wanted by just moderately saving. They were showering you with jewels. And it was fun to put the different kind of decks together. And again, I think I was gifted VIP once in the entire multi-year run of that game. I didn't spend a cent otherwise. And I was able to compete just fine, as for as much as everyone bitches about it being, like, you know, predatory and everything else. I got lucky a ton of times, can't deny that, but, like, I kind of enjoyed the gameplay. But Missing Link, I liked. Like, I really liked. Which is such a heartbreaking thing. Like, I wasn't just playing it for the story. I was like, holy shit, I'm actually really into this. This is awesome. If you don't know, I do have like a VODs channel where I just sort of like uploaded all the VODs of going through... What do I have? We had like... Let me share this with you. Yeah, 8.5 hours, 5.5 hours, 5 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours and a bit. Yeah, so that's what, nearly 40 hours roughly? 35, 40 hours. Plus of the time I was playing where I wasn't streaming. I was only out for like 10 days. I still streamed like 40 friggin' hours of the thing. It's just, man, as much as people like, we're starting to mention now that, oh, we were only ever interested in it for the story. We didn't actually care about it otherwise. Like, man, I cared about the gameplay. I thought it was going to be sick. I was really enjoying it. So I'm really sad to see it that it's gone. Anyway. Being responsible adult means I can't play them properly. I think that's what it was for, right? It was for adults that are commuting to and from work. That's what it felt like to me. It's like, you sit down, you catch the bus, you catch the train, and it's kind of like grinding away in your pocket. Then you come home, you load up your account, and then you spend all the AP that you've made that day. That's what I got the impression from it. Like, I didn't have to necessarily be playing it at all during the day, but it would be kind of chipping away in my pocket. Granted, it would be eating up your phone, eating up your battery. Hey, the artist train, how you going? Tiger Blaster, Wild Weasel, Cup, good to see you. J-Fart, Nicholas, Victor, again. Yeah, Solar Eclipse, Dylan, Isaac, trying to make sure. Hey, it's okay, how are you? Robster, it's been good to see you guys again. It's been a minute. I've not played Expedition 33, but my fiance has, and she's loving it. She's friggin' loving it. 3.8 remix that features... Okay, here's the problem, right? They don't think it's worth launching now in a state where it's already like... It feels crazy, not complete, but like... Several episodes are probably already complete. It's in a very playable state, and they don't think it's worth releasing now. So, is it realistic to think they're going to throw more money at it for like a movie? I don't know. I think our movie is like kind of our best bet at this point, or like at least a cutscene compilation would be cheap. Like, you just record the work you've already done. I almost wonder if that's like our only hope here. I just can't. think it will perform better across platforms and MMO, but also mobile. Drive your system stuff. That's okay. You can't travel there. But so this is the thing. This is why it kicked Pokemon Go's ass in this regard. You could just, if you went to a spot in that day, at least a raid spot, you can just teleport back there. There's a list of all the locations you've been, raid locations you've been in that day. If you've been there in the last 24 hours, you can just teleport back there by spending some AP. And if you're driving around all day, like, you almost like didn't need huge news for the unemployed. You didn't necessarily like need to be in each spot, because like if you were here and the park's over there and oh shit, something's at the park, well then just walk over with GPS mode. Just like switch off GPS mode and walk over to it. But the cutscenes in KH4, like the way they put the summaries of the past games, I think that's kind of our only hope at this point. Like, you know, in DDD where you'd be going along and you'd unlock flashbacks you could access from the memory section. I think that's like our only hope at this point, that we get some experience like that. Some way to officially experience the story of the mobile games. Well, for the longest time I was thinking like Union Cross and Dark Road can't be like dead forever, officially speaking. They're gonna have to be like wrapped into the Missing Link app in some way. Like, even if not on version 1.0.0, at some point you just patch in the cutscene viewer for Union Cross and Dark Road. Even if Dark Road there is no gameplay, like at least give you the ability to get that story, because friggin' Missing Link is a sequel and prequel to those games. Like, how much enjoyment are you going to get if you've never experienced those stories? Like, it'll probably stand on its own, but like, good heavens, like, it'll surely be significantly enhanced knowing the Union Cross and Dark Road story. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I've got a YouTube video up, but I'm sure they'd rather have a quote-unquote official way of seeing this stuff. Man. Missing Link is 4 DLC. I could see that, especially if 4 performs well and they're like, okay, we need to revive, like, we want to tell this story. We don't, like, we'll shelve it for now, but we'll bring it back one day. A Missing Link episode purchasable. That's why I'm almost like, like if they said, okay, we're just releasing it now, ditch the freemium model, forget that. Like, bring back, I don't know, a subscription, like MMO style. Like, it's $10 a month, it's $15 a month. Just here, you can play it. We've got like 50% of the game made. Pay us for 6 months and we'll keep making it for a bit. Like, just to scrap it entirely just seems so criminal. So much showing the mobile games, you can easily make a few games on console and make money. This is the thing, it's like, are they going to invest additional money into these games when they're already throwing this one out, given how much money and time they've already spent on it? Like, something to tell us story of the past and go. Well, I'd always figured that, like, he'd somehow, this kind of actually fits in with what I've been saying, like, would he not end up in some sort of, yeah, like a library or something, and then find like an archive, and then like, oh, and then that's how he finds out about like Union Cross and Dark Road, and that's how like these characters get educated on what happened back then. Even if it's like a data backup of Scala that was preserved before any destruction happened, it's like, okay, it's a data backup that we made, I don't know, right before Xehanort being a baby, because obviously like the player takes his baby Xehanort away from the mother. Probably something happens to Scala at the time. Like, why would you give up your baby? Because when he comes back, it looks radically different. It's the Scala that we know in 3 and Dark Road. So, like, if there's some sort of data snapshot preserved, which includes this library, and then Mickey's somehow able to visit that. This is the theory that I had of, like, why Donald and Goofy seem to show up in Union Cross, right? There's the episode which they made, like, part of the... They forced the experience on you. You couldn't skip those missions in Union Cross where Donald and Goofy show up. And it's like, okay, they're data versions of them, fine. Data, Chip, and Dale. But then Mickey seems like kind of real. He was carrying the Starseeker, I believe, and I don't think he was in this uniform. Let me look that up. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I don't think it was the KH4 uniform. And he was wielding Starseeker. So it's like, probably Data Mickey as well. Or it's some memory, who knows, but... A phone is probably something super important. Yeah, so I'll show you Elise's tweet. when I saw it, I don't know, it was like some way of contacting the dead, and then she finds something that kind of more or less confirms that. So required by setting catchment as blank area, and there's really no way for modern kingdoms to learn what happens here, but it's gonna be really tricky knowing what I played in the beta that not everyone got to experience, but also knowing maybe more than what I should. Is that like a... No, it's not, never mind. The chains are so sick. If they throw away all the missing link lore, it would be such a tragic waste, man. Such a tragic waste. Too empty plot-wise, Darkrai would have been a hell of a DLC. But that's the thing, they didn't want to make it, right? They had the story they wanted to tell. But the overall greater development team making the 3D games didn't sort of see that as a feasible project to work on. So when Big Groove sees the writing on the wall that Union Cross is going to be ending soon, and they want another project to work on, Nomura goes, well, here you go, have this. It's, the story of when Xehanort was a younger kid, how he kind of became the Seeker of Darkness. Sorry. Looking for a particular image. This one. I want to tweet about this as well, because I had some amazing volunteers, some of whom I think are in here now. Copy, you here? Yeah, they are. Who were able to collect this data for. Well, we were all kind of collecting it together. So it's the total number of players playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross on these particular dates on the bottom here, right? We only started, kind of towards the end of 2018. So it's not over the game's entire lifespan, but it's when I sort of was interested and able to recruit some volunteers to help me out. If it's sitting around 100,000 for a while, and again, we don't have data before that time, but bang, that gigantic ass friggin' spike when Kingdom Hearts 3 releases, I'm sure that's roughly when Dark Road was pitched, because it's didn't you a couple times give us the data cut? Maybe not. It wasn't all the time. There was, I can pull up the list of helpers. Should put it right down the side. Anyway, I'm sure they looked at data like this, and said, oh, if we make a new game, we'll get that many people back again. And if we do it right this time, they'll actually stay. Because obviously after Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, you literally press triangle to Union Cross. And obviously people are going to be drawn to this title to go check out what the hell was that about. I need to go know what that was about. But yeah, there was no quality of life features to keep them around. And before too many weeks, a month and a half later, it's basically back down to where it was. And then beyond that, and anniversaries every now and then bring a few more people into the game, into the ecosystem, but they don't stick around for long. And then Dark Road finally, Dark Road's announced. And I think that's oh yeah, we're going to get some people back. It comes, it goes, barely a blip on the radar. Within 2 weeks, the numbers are back down to exactly where they were. And it just petered off forever. This is the thing, it's we got 3 episodes of Dark Road, no one gave a shit, no one actually played it. So it's okay, we'll take the project down, it failed as a live service, but I think we're either contractually or honor bound to finish off the remaining episodes. So if you know all of this, what did you think was going to happen with Missing Link? Be after this point in time, then Missing Link is announced, obviously, right? For the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary, for the anniversary, alongside KH4. As this Pokemon Go clone, ongoing live service, blah, blah, blah. And what did you think? I'm assuming it's the much, much higher ups in the company that are seeing these trends and going, oh, Pokemon Go, biggest media franchise in the entire world. With this massive lightning in a bottle success. We got to clone that too. What's a popular IP? Kingdom Hearts. Okay, well, force it. It's going to happen. Make a Kingdom Hearts version of this game. Make as many properties as we can. Dragon Quest, blah, blah, blah. Just shit him out the door. Same as like Final Fantasy Battle Royale, shit that out the door. Even though no one's really asking for this, it's called First Soldier, make it happen. Like, we're tracing all these trends. And they're like, okay, so the devs actually go ahead and make that work. They do an amazing, really, really good job with it. That's, you know, probably far better than what it deserved to be, based on that idea. And then now, all these years later, they kick it to the curb, like... Missing Link was me and 2,000 other people who loved it and no one else. Yeah, I loved it. I think once people got their hands on it, they would have loved it too. Like, they would have talked shit the way about, like, oh yeah, well, I hate the mobile games, hate the mobile games, hate the mobile games. Man, it surprised me, because I was like, kind of, no matter what, I would play it, thinking like, okay, even begrudgingly, I'm going to be playing this because I'm going to get the story content. But then I got my hands on it, and I was like, this is amazing. This is really good. I couldn't stop playing it. I truly could not stop playing it. One of the reasons looking for missing customization character. Yeah, they had amazing character customization. Same people in charge of the mobile efforts of selling the company made this push was theirs. So, as far as I know, it's the same guys, Bit Groove, that made Union Cross that are making Missing Link. So that's like, again, once they had finished Dark Road, okay, slide them along into Missing Link. That's what like all these people celebrating today. Like, oh, now that we can finally get Kingdom Hearts, like, it's not the same people, literally exactly the same people working on it. Aaron, do you know more about that? Because I played Ever Crisis for like a month, just because I'd finished Rebirth, and I was like, oh yeah, well, again, just like in Kingdom Hearts 3, pushing people to Union Cross, Rebirth is heavily pushing people towards Ever Crisis, which makes sense. It's like a way of reusing assets and heavily monetizing for far less effort. Makes sense. You would push people to the mobile game, same as KH4 would have done for Missing Link. Okay, I'll check it out. I couldn't. I really was not enjoying it at all. I really was like, every second seemed like agony. I hated it. The pulls were like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Just because the gameplay wasn't fun at all. I was just, and then I was like, what am I doing? I just stopped playing it. And I will like go through one day and just get all the story in one hit, but I won't treat it as a live service. I'll treat it as, I have all these resources, I'm going to get into it. Do you know if it's doing well? Like, how is it doing as a game? Like, financially. The rating was really fun. I know, I had such a good time rating with you guys. I'll go post on Discord as well. Fred against the game's title. It's pretty silly, but I really want to know how this impacts the story. KH4 will now get told. Pushing for the tons of more games are fired. Seems weird everyone got purged. I think it's just they couldn't ignore the trends forever, right? Like, I mean, we're now living in a world where Marvel Rivals exists. If you're competing for people's attention, you've got Fortnite over there getting updates constantly with massive IPs from all across popular culture. Marvel Rivals, from an already hyper successful IP, churning out new content super quickly. Like all the money of like several nations' GDPs are being thrown at these like free games, in addition to the infinite amount of other ones. And I think Square Enix that was trying to just push out like dozens of small budget ones to try and capture as many people as possible and just hope that one or two really hit it big. I think the strategy just didn't pan out for them at all. And the higher-ups don't give a shit. They're just like, make a million games, make a million games, make a million games. All we have to do is get one or two that hit, and boom, we're like stratospherically rich. Like, Monopoly Go is over here making 20... How much money is it making? Like, in the billions, I think? Somehow? For a game I'd never heard of until recently. The mobile game Monopoly Go, with over 150 million downloads, has generated 5 billion in revenue since its launch in April 2023. That's from Wikipedia. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's like, I don't know how you like run a company and not be completely aware of that, you know? So I think that's what they wanted. Just keep shitting out infinite mobile games and just try and get that like stratospheric amount of growth, the same way that like a Genshin Impact and anything Hoyoverse and like tons of different stuff get. And eventually they just realized it's not happening. Like, we don't have the development resources to constantly be pushing out the quality that people are expecting. It's like, you think of mobile, you think of lower quality, but then so many titles are far and away exceeding that. Tablet mobile games make people like Monopoly, Minecraft, Roblox, used to be Mario. There you go. I can't believe like Monopoly's even. I never even heard of it. I mean, it makes sense that like Monopoly Go would be a thing, I suppose. But the fact that it's this hilariously successful game is just so crazy to me. The solid gacha game company, yeah, for sure. Like, it must be embarrassing, right? Like, you're looking across the. They've tripled the height of their skyscraper, and Square Enix, this legacy company that has all this, you know, prestige and respect from a long time ago, that, you know, maybe subjectively hit or miss in more recent times. I figure maybe I wasn't working for them. Someone asked me a question, I really wanted to answer it, but then I scrolled past it. Whatever. Yeah. I guess I don't get everyone's celebration of this, like, because not everyone is, but a lot of people are like, oh yay, good, this means that Kingdom Hearts 4 will finally get more development time, and it's like, or more attention given to it, like one team was somehow split between two games. But to me, it's like, very clearly a mobile team was working on the mobile game, the Osaka team was working on KH4, and they didn't necessarily share any resources. If anything, they shared like plot relevance. And again, it's talking around this, but like, I don't know how 4 doesn't have holes left in it. I don't know how you set up a new game at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 with, okay, 7 dark pieces, the foretellers versus, okay, our new protagonist coming in. Characters explicitly from the Age of Fairy Tales, you know, back cover, Unchained Key, Union Cross, heavily linked to Dark Road, with this missing link title in the middle that deals with this astral realm and fiction and unreality and all this stuff. And we just, even if you want to call it a bridging game, like a game that providing additional context and lore and all this cool stuff, to just wipe that off the map. Does 4 have to get reworked? Okay, best case scenario, we get that content somehow inserted into 4. Neutral, nothing changes whatsoever. They keep going exactly as they were. They don't address anything, they don't change anything. Worst case, it takes time to now remove this, rework the story, try and provide characters that give additional explanation to stuff that was going to be explained by other games. Like, and I think that's the more likely one. I don't see how this is good. It gets us Kingdom Hearts 4 any faster. You know? Basically, it's going to end up as KH4 DLC, isn't it? Episode brain. That, I mean, if that's what ends up happening, terrific. I love that. People still think KH3 is the third game. I don't know how you help those people. I don't know. I don't know if it does become a movie like Back Cover, because that just doesn't exist out of the ether, right? Like, it doesn't just poof into existence. Someone's still going to make that. And Back Cover wasn't just a cutscene movie, right? Like, it was, I don't know, styled. Characters were posed a bit more dynamically. It didn't seem just like typical gameplay models going through their, you know, animations. It seemed a lot more involved than that. Unit cross connections in 3 are very minimal. I'm not sure how much of that. Okay. I've seen people say this, and like, I just find I have to disagree. It didn't feel very organic, but the connections were still there. It's like, what? Ansem, Seeker of Darkness just goes out of nowhere to go grab Ansem the Wise. He's like, there was a girl that we used to have captured in the castle, blah 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 blah, Blue Radiant Garden. What happened to her? What'd you do with her? Nothing. I don't know. So like, he shows up there. Obviously Marluxia having like, oh, now I remember, like, I don't know, Luxor potentially, Evermus showing up in the Keyblade graveyard. Like, there were a bunch of stuff that like you didn't need going into it, but I feel like it made things a lot more interesting. Plus, like, all the secret reports are clearly tied into all that stuff. I would hope it would be more organic, but like, which I don't know. I kind of feel like it would have been. Key Star is a relevant story to the game, though it's really not required to play Kingdom Hearts 3, as the whole Kingdom Hearts lore is. For the last attempt to yeah, I do. Flip flop. I think this is it. So that, again, if you disagree with mobile games as a concept, I don't really blame you. But it's like, let them publish this one and then say no more after that. So I'm so sad of like, I haven't played Expedition 33. I can fully reason and rationalize with the person that says I don't like mobile games as a concept. Like, I get it, even though there's an argument to be had of like they're a necessary evil in the current gaming landscape. That as much as I would love a AAA game forever, I would love a handheld game forever. It's like, no, J-Pop, good to see you, man. It just can't happen anymore. Like, it doesn't. Where do you put a game? If you put it on a PlayStation, people already like start to expect a certain graphical fidelity, right? The beauty of Missing Link was that like it still looked fine, it looked acceptable, but it didn't have these kind of graphics, right? It didn't need to keep up with the ever advancing trend of like greater aesthetic quality of the gaming industry. And it just got, I don't know, it took too long to develop, and now it's just, yeah. But like, where else do you put it? Where else do you put a non-AAA game? Where does that go? The Switch? Well, the Switch you can then plug into the dock, and then now it's on a HD television, and now you go like, okay, well, it needs to look good again. It can't look like dog shit. It's like, my example is becoming like Pokemon, the biggest media franchise in the entire world, was still able to keep up with regular yearly releases. And Scarlet and Violet looks like complete fucking shit. Like, Scarlet and Violet looks so gross and disgusting and ugly. I'm sorry, like, it does. Go back and play like a 3DS game. Go back and play, I don't know, Legends Arceus. I like it a lot as a game. It's still not the prettiest game in the entire world. Scarlet and Violet looks atrocious. Like, it looks so horrible. And for all the shit that Sword and Shield got, the wild area doesn't look amazing, but like the actual towns themselves still look pretty good. And like the battle backgrounds and everything else look quite nice. That's kind of what I'm worrying. I'm like, so then where are the... If AAA games are taking longer and longer and longer and longer to make, like where does this go? Where do we put the smaller stories? If they couldn't figure mobile out, do they just... Because gacha, what mobile games exist that aren't gacha? Like, what other formats are there? I don't think it looks amazing, but like, again, this is the thing. Legends EA, I think it looks fine. I think it looks perfectly acceptable. I don't think it looks incredible, but I don't necessarily need amazing graphical fidelity. I'm glad they took 2 years to make it. Or, sorry, 2 years since the last release to actually make it. KH on the scale of Stranger of Paradise. I mean, that still looks good. And that would have taken quite a long time to make. It's still a AAA experience. Expedition 33 did figure out how to make $50 games again. Sure, I mean, I'd love that to happen. I haven't actually played it myself yet, but I've heard nothing but good things. We're going to miss other moments of Game of Thrones, sense of community for a franchise. This is kind of the thing. The best thing that the mobile games gave us was like regular Kingdom Hearts contents during the long droughts. Like, for a while there, we were getting like monthly updates, and even if it was 5-10 minutes at a time, it kept us all friggin' together. It kept us all like, we'd hang out. I mean, I was so excited because at least like English would have been caught up to Japanese this time around. There wouldn't have been a difference. Like, everyone freaks out when Arena gets revealed. Everyone freaks out when Lorien gets revealed. Everyone freaks out when Ventus gets revealed in Union Cross. Like, there were things that we all got to kind of experience at a regular pace. And then towards the end where we were caught up, like, I was loving the streams we were all doing together. It was like, we'd hang out regularly and we'd get this new shit and we'd all get hyped up and like, all right, we'll see you next month. We'll do it again. Like, it was incredible. And it was only chibi little graphics, and it was a tiny team working on it. And it was small budget, but it was making its money back. I just feel like, I feel like a statement like this, where it's like we're canceling the game, it's gone, is like dramatic restructuring. Like we're gonna prove, oh yeah, I don't know, new boss in charge. We're sick of that. We're shaking things up. We're trimming the fat. We're making some unpopular decisions. I don't know. It's exciting now. You can't even play it. Mobile gaming is crap. I get the preservation argument. Like, you're being reductive, but like I do get the preservation argument of you can't have that experience anymore. But does that mean that it shouldn't have existed in the first place? Like, does that mean that, like, again, there is no PSP right now. There is no DS. Like, if there was a handheld system that we could all kind of like have a mobile small scale experience on, yeah, I think you'd have more of a leg to stand on. But it's like, there's just not. People always a favorite mobile game right now, but I think many people know about it, even though it's 5 million Android. Yeah, I mean, it's Niantic made that as well. It's like in the shadow of Pokemon Go, but it's still like Niantic clearly still thinks it's successful enough to continue developing it. Possible they conceive that financially the game wouldn't work as a mobile game and would now remain as a single player console game. That is the hope. Just the way that they say though development has been cancelled has me really not hopeful at all. A new PS handheld soon. I've heard the rumors. I've heard an Xbox rumor as well about an Xbox handheld. And I said, you can't even count the Switch in my opinion. If it was handheld only, I think you could count it. But the fact that it plugs in and becomes like a HD console once it's plugged in, even though it's not, the weakest of the generation, I don't think it can look too... Yeah, I don't think it counts. You can still play those CS games. Yeah, you can, but are they still like in print right now? You can pick up, like as far as Square's concerned, the official way to play those is the movies via the HD remixes, right? That is the current official way of playing those games, unless you can track down from a secondhand market days on DS are recoded on DS. Like, by that logic, is coded still their expected way of getting the coded story on the Docomo phone? Japan only? Like, at some point, things are retired. I don't think anyone's expecting you to, if you want the Kingdom Hearts story, to pick up a PS2. Much as I think 2FM on the PS2 might be like the ultimate version. Kingdom Hearts and the Scale Visions of Mana could be nice. Yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, we never would have left the previous art style. As much as the new ones look really cool, I think it might have been a mistake for the series to do that. I don't think I will, Jay. Thank you. What's madness? I was watching Square's share prices and determining that's what's doing graphs last night. Closer to you Zara than before. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Should we actually talk about KH4 at some point? And I'm very excited. Like, it looks insane, but it takes time to make, right? I just don't know if AAA can last forever in its current state, the way that, like, some companies can figure it out where it's like it's in development for a reasonable amount of time. It isn't the longest game in the world. It isn't the prettiest game in the world, but it comes out. It comes out before the industry has moved on. Something like this, like with the gaming industry being so volatile and entertainment at large being like just crazy unpredictable, like online consumable media, to have a game be in development for like 5-something years, like you have no idea what the industry is going to look like by the time you get there. Like, what global economic factors will mean that, oh, people just don't have the money to spend on consoles and the disposable income for video games anymore. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it looks pretty, Dark Mess, but like, I just don't think... You can't have this art style and also the regular yearly schedule of release, right? For a flip-flop, for like massive companies, you can, with like enormous budgets behind them and gigantic teams that can constantly be in a farm cranking out new content, and also be big enough, something like Fortnite, to like attract other big pop culture events to come and like collaborate. Is that even like Dead by Daylight is able to do the same thing now? Like, it's able to attract like horror icons from the horror genre. I don't think you want Kingdom Hearts yearly anyways. I liked it monthly when it was called Union Cross, and then Dark Road for a very short amount of time. So it's especially high when it gets compared to each yearly Final Fantasy release. But then you want to with the old and take long. Transactions sloppy now, but somebody goes behind paywalls. Yeah, I don't know. I've been sort of like working on the fan up. I haven't played any games in a while, but makes it much better idea for turnaround. Yeah, I forgot about that sort of NFT blockchain era. Anthony, like, again, Anthony, I want that as well, but like, we're a company like Square that has so many different projects constantly in the works from so many beloved franchises that if any one of them goes quiet for too long, they're screaming about how they've been abandoned and how life sucks for them. I'm sure in their mind they think, oh yeah, we can push out at a regular pace all these different, AAA games, but I don't know, like, how long do you go between Monster Hunter releases? When was Wilds? The Exodus, that'd be cool. I doubt that's gonna happen. I mean, if that was the case, I guess I'm arguing that the game would have been out already, if that was the case. It wouldn't have taken this long to come out. Dragon Quest Quo is still a PNG. I mean, listen, they've had some pretty drastic losses from their creative team. I think you can cut them some slack. Hey, Sonny, how are you, man? Good to see you. The third Heartless from the JP one. I think it's going to be a one, if it's the one I'm thinking of. It's the one that's... That way? Yeah. I was wondering if that was like one of these guys that's morphed, because you can see from like the global screenshot, see how his arm is like massive? I feel like these guys morph the same way that is what I was talking about last time, like the Creeper Nobody. So see, like, it's all the Creeper, but it can morph into different shapes, including like a weapon. See, like this guy up at the top here is becoming like a giant sword thing. I was almost wondering if he is like them, but the color scheme is different. I guess I'll grant you that. I wonder if like these guys summon him. I don't know. Yeah. He's like far too like angular and sharp. Yeah. They're almost like 1, 2, 3. They're almost like with these guys though, and to me they look similar to each other. Like, I wonder if these guys go with these guys somehow. A little like hole for the heart though is really cool. Pretty sick. Sword is the new initiatives, but the far left is different. Yeah, but there's more. There's I think 1, 2, 3. They're all together. They're all the same guy. Can't see my cursor. Oh, never mind. How do I do this then? All right, so 1 on the left here, and then 2 behind the chain, so kind of like Nexusaurus foot, and then that guy in the back here, kind of behind the foot, behind the right gauntlet, over here. Let's try to see. That's so good. People have been saying like where this is. To me, this is just like it's in the same area, just underneath like one of the on ramps. Like it could literally be, yeah. Could like literally just be underneath one of these on ramps in the back here. Probably literally find it. Hang on. Shibuya Scramble. Let's go on map show. Let's go have a little look around. People have been saying that. Yeah, he's getting more Yozora-esque, which does kind of make sense. Mickey carrying these screenshots on his back. To me, this is definitely Mickey going to Scala, the way that we heard about at the end of Melody of Memory. And like he's learning about Scala via, I don't know, yeah, literally library records. Like the green glowing thing over there. To me, that's like you walk over to it, get some kind of lore update. Like, oh, I found this book. So what's this red glowing thing up here? Hang on. I'm not going to call this final. I think it looks like good, but yeah, if you're saying this is like a final build, this is crazy. I would not be making those judgment calls. Rob, I said exactly the same thing. I thought he was on his little slant the way that he was in but he's doing his little hand gesture. But I thought that was I don't know. That almost looks like a save point to me. But I mean, it would make sense for that to be a modern save point, the way that we've seen in previous games. Oops. Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that, but we're in a boardroom in the Shibuya sky. How do we do this? Sure, let's go here. Let's find our way around. See if we can like literally find... Oh, not bad. Nailed it. All right, hang on. Where are we? Relative to this screenshot. It's pretty freaking cool. No way. Did I just literally nail it in one hit? God damn. Hell yeah. It's just that easy, folks. It's just that easy. Okay, I thought I'd be close because I typed in, you know, Shibuya Sky. I don't think I'd be just by dropping randomly on the map that close. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, the Hikarie building, yeah. Yes. So, right, we were looking for... Let's see, like if I go underneath... Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is. This is what that is, right? Yeah, that's the traffic lights. Yeah, it's gonna be right here. So to me, this is like you've cleared out some kind of like... I don't know. Because the missing link, there'd be like a fog and you go in and you clear the miasma and then you come out. Like you'd purify. This is literally exactly where it is, by the way. Traffic lights, so let's go over here. Yeah, okay, downward. This is exactly where it is. Yeah. We're literally right next to the other one. So you can see that like ramp over there. You guys can't see my cursor, can you? I forget properties. Capture cursor. Yeah, okay, done. Nice, okay, you can see it again. Okay, so that there is like that there. We're in exactly the same spot. The remnants of a high-level FFI. I like that. I like that. It's not a bad idea. The Dark Side one is just further under too. Yeah, no, it's really close by. Yeah, looks the same. Kinda. Visually identical when Yozora wins the DLC fight. Nice. I like that. Like if Blizzard in F15. Yes, you're right. Or like summoning Shiva. Yeah. At least there's like icy particles behind. Like crystal particles, always a blinding light, and then seeing like the light in the screenshot. I can see that. I can see what you're saying. That's why I was almost thinking of like Lassie with the whole like Yozora connection and seemingly almost like completing a focus with beating Sora or losing to Sora. Hitting the gym, I'm hitting the buffet table. I feel fat as hell right now. I've not worked out in a while. I finally got the metal plate taken out of my arm, so I got a nice big, nice juicy scar there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. So I haven't even had to do anything for a while. But my 6 weeks of recovery is like basically up now, so I should be able to start working out again. Been in America for a little while and I've gained about 1,000 kilos, I feel like. Crystallized and shattered after defeat. Knock fluke, I could see that. I like that. Either way, it looks cool. I shouldn't be just focusing on being a smarty pants and finding out where it actually is. I should be focusing on like, it does look sick. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're in the same place. Thank you. I can't wait for it. Yeah, is anyone going to reconnect? I know Sunny is. Anyone going to reconnect in Denver in like 2 months? Jeez, 60 days. I gotta get this fan dub done. Hey, sorry, Sky. How you doing? Sorry, next to each other are from the same cutscene. Oh, I can see that. You're saying the one... I can see that. I can see this all being from the same cutscene, to be honest. Because like that, the dark side reaching over there... Whoop. Hey, Xena, thank you. Oh, the pool's the missing link. Sure, I guess we will be able to save our money, right? And only purchase a one-time video game, potentially with DLC, instead of being repeatedly asked to make purchases through weekly VIP and stuff like that. Oh man, I don't know. We're getting a Switch too. I wasn't really in a rush to do so. Like I had the option to pre-order one in Australia, and I didn't. I don't know. I just wasn't. I don't know. If there was a Kingdom Hearts game confirmed for it, then sure. But there wasn't. So I'm like, okay, Mario Kart World, cool. Pokemon, cool. But it's also coming out on Switch, one. So I'm like, I don't necessarily need it for the two. And then it's like, I would basically just be buying it for like a better version of Pokemon Legends. So I'm like, nah, I'm kind of good. Man. So if we're thinking that like Sora has typically been depicted as gold and Riku as blue, like those would match the colors that we've seen in the ending of like in the secret ending to base KH4, to see the gold and the blue like striking at a dark side. I don't know. The fact that the camera is like down here though, like underneath here, makes me think it's like Sora watching as this is happening though. I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. Or unless it's like someone else's perspective down here. Like if that's Sora launching an attack, I don't know why the camera would be down here to see that. The diamond to the left of the yellow command bar over here. The diamond in the top left here. I imagine that's some sort of a meter, right? And like when something is ready, maybe you can like hit a button, like the meter will be filled up with like the triangle or the X button or whatever. And you can just like launch it. God, this is so cool though. Like the 104 building is in the world thing there, as well as the Tokyo Metropolitan building, and then the sort of Shibuya shopping buildings on the right, I think. I don't recognize them exactly, but yeah. Hey Maxwell, hey, how you doing? Nora, I was so depressed all day. I was so depressed all day. Like, I was literally jumped into bed last night. It's like 11:30. My phone just goes bing bing as I get 2 notifications because I've got alerts set for both Kingdom Hearts accounts. And it's like, oh, it's the worst news ever. Like, I'm so friggin' sad. I didn't sleep for like 4 hours. And then wake up this morning. Just a miserable shit all day. Just awful. Just horrible to be around. And then go out to dinner. We have dinner at 6 o'clock. Sit down. Literally just sit down in our chairs and start talking to the people we're having dinner with. Bing, bing. Oh, what's this? Oh, shit. News. Crazy news. Man. Oh, man. What do we think these enemies are called? Like that, I mean, it looks like a Neo Shadow Heartless, but like, are these guys also heartless? I mean, they have like gaps where a heart would go. It makes you kind of think that yes, they are, but I don't know. Part of me feels like maybe they're not. I mean, if you're something's up for the game, you think that was the clue? Just shadows. The other one's probably new large bodies. I don't know. I mean, I guess they are blocking from the front. I can kind of see what you mean by that, but I'm comparing them to the Seath of FF13. The giant, like, gauntlet hands. I don't know. Were there some Seath that looked like that? Like, that had, like, gauntlet hands? So the one I shared in the image was, like, this guy. Yep. God, wikis are so fucking bad to use now. Where it's like his Seath stone is like in the middle of his chest, where again, I'm not going to call it a Seath stone, it seems too early for that, but it visually is kind of similar to these giant gauntlets that he's like holding up. I don't know. Because again, like the whole FF13 stuff does tie into what happens at the end, like with Yozora of the Remind DLC. Missing some MP. I think you shot fire at one of the gauntlet enemies and the orb thing absorbed it. Fire spell turning red. Love that. Love that, love that, love that sort of Sora. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Man. Because what do we see build use for in the original trailer was like the giant drill, right? These are the mechs got redesigned. Interesting. I don't think so though. I think they are more akin to whatever our current enemy is. The drill is made of light and darkness, not chains, if I recall correctly. Yeah, the chains were used for, like, traversal. I just don't know, like, if the chains in this case of... Like, what is the function of this? Was air dashing, air stepping? Was air stepping too broken? This is, like, their equivalent of it? Like, you, like, target an area... and he, like, makes chains to flow motion get there rather than, like, instantly zipping there? Is that, like, a nerf to it, perhaps? The same way that they, like, nerfed flow motion for 3 versus DDD? Reaction command. Ah. Now I'm wondering if they're... The fact you said that makes me like go back to this bar over here where it's like clearly that diamond is empty. And there was a complaint from, for the record, I don't necessarily believe in this complaint, but there was a complaint that like reaction commands made things too easy in 2. So I wonder if they are going to bring them back in 3. Like, do you have to fill a bar before you can use a reaction command? Like, are they kind of really powerful moves yet again, but you can't just do them repeatedly, you have to like earn them? Like, you'll get your triangle button when it's contextually relevant, but you don't have it all the time. Hard stop bullets so they look like shock light. Yeah, it looks kind of like what was that light blue one? Fuck. I know what you're talking about though. Yeah. Is it possible that these guys have built these arms? I don't know. Like, where do we get a drill from? It seems kind of random, but like, can we build a bunch of gauntlets? If we like absorb power from these guys in some way? I don't know. Because it reminds me of the like the Olympus shot lock, right? We had like the giant ass fists. I mean the gauntlets, yeah. The circle in the middle of gauntlets look like the circle that creates the drill. I don't really remember. Should we go watch the trailer, like the initial KH4 trailer again? It's been a while. He builds new attacks from absorbing, powering, reacting to the enemy attacks, and using it against them. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. The UI on Mickey's screenshots in JP in English is misaligned. Uh-huh. Well, I mean, like, if he can only do limited things, do you need all this UI? Wouldn't it just be easier to have it... Well, I mean, we're just assuming this is even, like, not the earliest of early builds here, but, like, would you even need a bunch of layers if Mickey can only just jump anyway? HT Nightmare Cherethies. Interesting. Where the attack is impacting the first 3 heartless in the middle. The chainsaw, yes. Yes. Heartless in reality would look more like Nightmare feel. Well, I'd say they're right. I wonder if there is a distinction, if these are like more the primally darknesses versus these guys, which... Is it them in armor? Like, are they the same guy? They're just like armored up here? Like, are they like built a suit of armor around themselves? Because like, look at the like... No, that's more of... No, they look bigger, just in general. Little like hoods and masks and everything. The one on the right looks like he's dancing. The shades from Near Replicant. That's a good pick. Near Replicant was sick. Got that plat. Took freaking forever. That's actually pretty. Yeah, that's not a bad. It's not a bad pull. Drag out the foretellers like a chain of memories till Kingdom Hearts 3. Till 3? Till 4? Till 5? What do you mean? Darkness took human form. Well, it took over humans' bodies. That's what I mean by it took human form. Could Darkness be an empty city with just enemies? I mean, we saw a ton of people. But then again, when Sora initially got there and walked around it, and Riku got there as well, it was completely empty. I don't know. In the initial KH4 trailer, he is, like, running to almost, like, defend a bunch of people, it seemed like. The shades seemed, like, far more, like, corporeal, almost. Like, they were barely... Like, they weren't even fully completely there. God, these guys stunk. Nia's so good, by the way. I haven't finished. I haven't. Well, yeah, I got the plat for Replicant and Automata, but I never finished the story of bloody hell. Reincarnation. Twelve style 2 world situation. Interesting. I love the new Heartless design, Shaw Brothers. Yeah, I do. It's taking a while to move on from them. We got them for a ton. Oh, sorry, I see what you mean. Okay, a ton of games as enemies or side villains. I see what you're saying. Listen, I think at this rate we would be lucky if the series is continuing after 4. To be perfectly honest, like if we're having only 2 projects on the horizon, one of which just got completely freaking cancelled. No, I think we'd be lucky, to be honest. The X gauge is empty. Maybe the chain attack used it up. Okay, I like that. I think it looks full right now, but I can see what you're saying. There was part of me that just wanted to like go down Twitter and get mad because I was so freaking... I was pissy earlier on at everyone's takes. You're cool with 4 being the end, man. That's so heartbreaking to me. No. I think it would be a pretty crummy saga if it ended after like 1 and a bit games. It's 1 a.m. and I was watching Cinderella clips, and of course, during that time, they screenshots. Drop. One more bridge game. After 4, and then 5 is the end. I don't know. As long as it's like enjoyable story they want to keep telling, I hope it goes on forever. But if I don't know, if it ever leaves Nomura's hands, then I just don't think it should. I mean, I don't know. Vermin Rex. Do you think Missing Link will just be a non-mobile game down the line? Let's say he could get a KH4 with Missing Link or Vermin Rex games come out before 5. I would love it if they do. I don't. As much as I'm excited for this, it doesn't, to me, overwrite the fact that Missing Link is gone. To me, like that is such an immeasurable tragedy to be gone. Oh, what does that say? I wonder if we can translate that. Any dynamite info about Missing Link you can share now? Streams had a bunch of leak sort of material on the game. Streams? Streamers, I'm assuming you mean. Hey Purple, how you doing? Marketing plan words, cancel game, followed by exactly what the majority of casual. I'll come back to the previous question, but yeah, I'd been saying for a long time, like, people are sad about no KH4 news, but it's like, if you put that out before the Missing Link news, you're just confirming what most people think of, like, fuck the mobile games, they're unimportant, just give me 4, that's all I want. That's the important one, that's the real one. The other one doesn't make any, like, doesn't matter. And it's like, in as much as, like, ML was going through development hell, they still couldn't talk about 4 either because it would only confirm all those things I just said. Like, you know, don't even worry about this shit. The real thing is coming soon. everyone like going on about transparency, it just seems so crazy to me, as if to think that like there's some conspiracy going on, that they're just withholding information. Like, if it was just Square Enix working on a property that was entirely Square Enix, maybe that would be one thing. But it's like, do we forget who they're allied with here? Like, it's Disney. We remember this, right? Like, they're making a product alongside Disney. And I'm sure, like, can you imagine the meetings that must go on like a weekly, if not daily basis of like, well, we want you to depict this particular property like this. We actually changed our mind for the direction we want this to go. It needs to be depicted like this now. And fucking, are you kidding me? Like, if Star Wars ends up being one of those things, like, the hell that Star Wars has gone through creatively the last decade, like the ups, oh my god, Mandalorian's the best thing ever. Cool, let's greenlight 50,000 more TV shows. Well, they're all awful. Oh no, Andor's good, but burp. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine the hell of like a Japanese development team trying to like liaison with, I can only assume, a primarily English speaking, that ultimately kind of like pull the strings team on the same time. Like, that must move at like glacial speed. That must be like the most miserable thing ever, trying to like work alongside that. I don't know, man. I don't know if they are that hands off anymore. I feel like they might just be getting, I don't know. Part of me just thinks like, with the way that some of their properties have been going, they're like, oh, well, we have to tighten up in some aspects. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm happy, because I'm glad we only saw basically stuff we already know, right? Shibuya, and then Scala. Like, we knew Mickey was going to Scala. Assuming that's what that is, then it's not exactly like a spoiler to have that. If there was a new world included in just a screenshot, it's never going to happen, but man, I would love to go play a Kingdom Hearts game, not knowing the worlds are going to be in it again. Like, going in and actually, I don't think I've had that experience since like some of the worlds in 2 maybe were a surprise to me. I think everything else I've known ahead of time. Topics had direct involvement from Pixar. Yes. Dupless, doesn't matter to you, you don't care about mobile. Didn't I play Missing Link with you? Weren't you one of the... New trailer... Is it impossible to get one now that like ML is gone? Yeah, exactly. Do we get it at Summer Games Fest? Yeah, on the left-hand side, right? I think that's 100% a skull and symbol. And like a Keyblade crown right there. When I first saw this, I almost got like stealth vibes from it. Like, was he trying to like avoid detection? That's what I'm so sad about Sora. I'm like, even if you don't like mobile games, I get it. Make whatever argument you want. If you just hate them on principle, but you want to stand behind a preservation argument, fine. But like, don't come after one that's already been so heavily in development. Because like, what's the worst that happens for you? If a separate mobile team is working on a mobile game and you don't care about it, then A, you can just ignore it. B, you get a free YouTube video you can watch if you don't even want to download it. C, you download it, try it, and go, shit, I actually didn't like it. Okay, ignore it. D, you download it, you might actually like it. Oh my god. Okay, Mickey. Like, how does it affect you negatively that it exists? Like, if you don't engage with it at all and just want the story, guess what? Some moron like me will put it up for you. Promise. Promise you can digest that story. You can have it. And then it's like, oh, it just makes the overall story more complicated and convoluted, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're making the birth by sleep argument again, because you had a PS2 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and you didn't want to have to buy a PSP and a DS to keep playing the series. Like, that's all the argument to me really is. Like, you like it in a certain way, and you don't like it changing or evolving at all. Trying out new stuff. Surfy, but I think that's the thing. More hoops to jump through. For what? Mickey platforming? Or something else? Missing Link was the one I was ready to go in on. I missed Union Cross hype. Yeah. I think this time around, so many people missed Union Cross, or they didn't get into it until it was like, oh shit, it's important, it's relevant, burp. Like 10 updates before the end, 5 updates, 3 updates before the end, and by that point it was too late to get into it. So I think, but like they're like, okay, but this time I'll be ready. This time I'll be downloading it and be ready to go. I think they would have been surprised by the initial player numbers. Like they would have been, I feel like it would have been quite strong. And where Key and Union Cross fucked it. Messed up so bad. It was like having 400 quests of worthless story that meant nothing, that did nothing for anyone. Apart from with like the barest sprinkling of like unique original content that even then wasn't that exciting. As a Key Union Cross defender, Missing Link was going strong out the gate. Like I was so invested in the story. Even just off the short amount that we did have, like we only had like 5 chapters, but even that was pretty well packed with a lot of content. I felt. Thank you for the blessings. Something where I've even included the whereabouts of Master Ava. Yeah, but very possibly. Could have absolutely been in that time period. Like, maybe she time traveled out. She wasn't present at the end of KH3. So Dan, this is... Okay. What is enough? So I'm not coming at you, but I'm like, this is like AAA speak, right? For... We know we would have made some, but we wouldn't have made all the money. Our mates over there in Hoyoverse are like, their skyscraper now goes far beyond the clouds. We can't even see them anymore. So we would have put out our mobile game and it might have made a modest amount of money, but we would have had to like have obviously server costs and blah, 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 and ongoing maintenance and like continued development for 2, 3, 4, who knows how many years until it was finished. And then it would have ended. And we know that Kingdom Hearts fans would probably have moved on once the story was finished, unless we found some way of keeping them around. And we're all of a sudden not confident that our Pokemon Go mechanics would have done that. So rather than making some money for a little while, we're not going to make infinite money forever. Cancelled. Done. Gone. To me, it's just like so heartbreaking. Because when did you realize this was, you know, difficult? It would be difficult to offer a service players would find satisfactory over a long period of time. That's your excuse? To me, that's crazy. Like, when did you decide this? That's why I had this, like, other thing up before. The hell is it? Here it is. That's when I'm like... All this happens, right? We get to the end of 2021. Dark Road's already gone through all this fucking shit. And then a year later, you announce another mobile game, and it's like, you already know how bad this could have been for you. The announcement where we go, Missing Link is a thing, KH4 is a thing, is the same announcement where they have to say at the start of it, oh, by the way, Dark Road's final chapters are finally getting released, just by the way. So, like, you don't... These things just don't just pop out of the ether. Like, you run reports of like, okay, best case scenario revenue, worst case scenario revenue. Hopefully we're somewhere in the middle. Well, hopefully we're on the upper side of it, but like, hopefully we're not below the worst case scenario. So then it's like, I don't know. And that beta felt like really ready to go. Developing Missing Link as well, they were developing Missing Link as clearly as Kingdom Hearts 3. Eric, it's exactly what I think. It's exactly 100% what I think. Eric, I 100% agree with you. I kind of said it before, but I'm like, I think the lead programmer that mentioned me in his portfolio, I get the impression he didn't know 2 weeks ago. So it's like, for all this talk of, oh, they knew, they should have been more transparent. I think you're so far off the mark with that. People that are saying that. I think it was sunken cost, sunken loss fallacy. Money was already invested and they still pushed on with Dark Road. I think it was more like contractual obligation. I think they had stars in their eyes, right? So it's first teased at this point here. Means it was probably pitched earlier, probably around here, where it's like, holy shit, we can get massive player numbers if the circumstances are right. Well, a new game will get people excited, right? Let's do it. We'll do a full game, and they go, okay, we'll commission you to make a full game for us. Rain, hail, or shine. They go, okay, won't be a problem. They release it. No one gives a fuck. Within 2 weeks, the player numbers are back down to where they were. But they're still contractually obligated to make it. But they're like, it's failed as a live service. It's getting shut down. Like, right here. It's not continuing after the Union Cross story finishes. It's getting shut down. You'll get the story later on. And I think it's like they had to have the Union Cross story like delivered by the end of, I think it's the end of May, I think, in JP. And they like just make that deadline. Because I'm pretty sure they put it out on like a Monday or a Tuesday or something. I forget. They always historically put it out on a Tuesday. But I remember the JP date being like at the very end of a month on a date they didn't typically put content out. And to me, it just screamed of like, we are contractually obligated to get this story finished by this date. Black Ninja, I think it's possible that you might at some point, whether officially or not. I'm sure it's a matter of time until someone does something. Cough. Won't be me. Sure as hell won't be me. But I think... wouldn't be surprised if someone does something like that. Lol. There's some pretty cool tracks. I'm just saying. There's one really cool one that I really, really liked. Detective, I'm not with them, man. I'm somewhere else. I'm actually in the United States right now. On the West Coast. I don't know if it was ever happening in Duplis. I don't tend to put a ton of faith in stuff like that. Just like rumors and hearsay. Dan, I am visiting Vegas. Yeah. Yes. I should message you. Yes, I am. In a couple months, I am. Dearly beloved, you mean Nora? But yes, but it's amazing. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like someone was posting stuff in January. I don't see any reason why that person wouldn't just leak everything now that this has happened. If I graduated uni, dude, I'm like in my 30s. Yeah. I'm not at uni anymore. I'm an old man. I was just a boy when the first Kingdom Hearts game came out. Now I'm an old ass man. It's alright. It happens, Nora. I make mistakes all the time. It's been a long time, yeah. So on that note, like I was literally getting ready to come back to stream. I think next Tuesday I was planning on doing it because I'm like, I've done a bit of fan dub work and I'm at a point where I'm like nearly ready to show you guys. Let me see what this looks like. Alright, what have I done? What can I show you guys? You made LeBron and KD should go to the club. I've just googled Kingdom Hearts Lo-Fi. I have actually no idea. Yeah, sorry, it's interesting. I would love them to just come out and say, look, we're going to reuse this stuff one day. because I think that would keep the leaks at bay. If they don't, I'm not saying anyone should post stuff, but it's like there was people already starting to do it like in January before this was happening. So I'm like, the content's out there. Like if people want to find it, they can find it. I mean, like, I wanted to. I don't know. Yeah, Jesus. I really wanted to talk about a lot of stuff, but it's like that would just be career suicide to do that. So, unfortunately, they would not be wise for me to do so. And also, I don't know, not necessarily fair on you guys. It wouldn't necessarily be the format you'd even want to enjoy stuff in anyway. But KH4 telephone, that's a good one. Okay, it's so funny. He's wrong about the world list. He fell for the trap. Basically, that's all I'll say. He's wrong about the world list. I don't see any reason why he'd be wrong about the story. This should be pretty findable. He should know that. He's wrong about the world list, though. I said, it won't be me, but I can imagine someone's going to do it pretty soon. I've also gotten really deep into Pokemon cards, by the way, in the last little while. So I'm going to open up a pack of Crown Zenith for you guys here. I'm calling it a trap, only because it looks like a bunch of worlds at first, and it... How do I... But it's not visitable worlds, let's say that. It's just a bunch of, like... Let's say, like, icons of... Oh, wow, green screen filter is on, so the Cherubi is fully see-through, lol. Naked Cherubi. Naked Execute. Every card's got green on it. Naked Energy Retrieval. Oh. It's taking the yellow as well from Emolga. It's a Rev Hollow Whalmer into a... Oh my god, a regular. Regular Taurus. That was a shitty pack. Alright, and then 3 on the end, because it's this generation. Blah. Treasure Planets in 4? Could be. I know nothing about 4. I just know a tiny little bit of like the beta files that, again, like multiple different people have reached this stuff. So it's like, it could come from anywhere. It could come from people that I don't even know have it yet. Like it's just out in the ether in the wild. If people want to leak it, they probably could. I'm not saying it's, I just think it's only a matter of time. Yeah, sort of sorry. That's not right. Cough. Doesn't matter now anyway, but that doesn't seem to be correct from what I can tell. Do I know for sure? No. But no, I do not know for sure, but that thank you, Detective. Thank you. Spread the good word. I mean, if someone's dumping stuff, like, why wouldn't they dump it all? And kind of, like, post the most interesting stuff, would be my guess. Again, I don't know. I feel like I'm an idiot for even talking about this stuff, to be honest, but... Turn off that filter, turn off that filter, close. Is that different? No better? That too, Nora. That too is also... That is also wrong. Kind of for the same reason. There's a leak that talked about Raya being in the game. I think they saw the letters RA and thought it was Raya, and it's like, RA has always stood for Rapunzel. For as long as it's been in Unreal, and we've had a Rapunzel world. Is it right time right now? Write the message when KH4 was announced. So he's the one speaking in the KH4 trailer. Yes. Data mine stuff. They released a trailer. A trailer for what? Exactly. Rob, that was so hilarious because that's the one world from the the one world from the Missing Link trailer. I was like, bro. Yeah, Lux plus plus, attack boost 12, max plus Lux plus plus. Everybody, God, I remember rating. Yeah, it's such a shame. It's such a shame because everyone's like, well, we don't even know what the stuff was, and it's like. So well, it can't be that bad. I'm sure they're going to integrate it. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen. Hey, Crimson, how are you? Thank you. Oh boy. I am kind of a nerd. That's true. KH4 information, the Missing Link data mine stuff, so they want to release something to get ahead. It's funny. Not like... I feel like I need to keep saying this regularly. Like, multiple different people have got into the beta and have independently messaged me, independently of each other, and said, hey, I found this stuff. And it's like, oh, that's funny, because, yeah, you're all kind of... I have no skills in this area whatsoever. I'm just a guy that people want to talk to about mobile game stuff. That multiple people have decided, like, oh, I should message him about it. And I'm like, I much appreciate it. That's great. It's easy. It's great for me. I have no, like, actual skill in finding this stuff myself. I will never purport to. I have no methods of doing this. They do. YouTube user, they do. From what those people have said to me, again, all sharing similar stuff. From the beta files... Not like directly linking to 4, but it's like, to me, everything is linked to 4 with like this whole astral dimension, astral plane stuff, the nature of like unreality, reality, fiction, non-fiction, all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's all going to be relevant going forward. Those who were respectfully not sharing links have now found themselves at a crossroads, I suppose. Well, yeah, this is the thing. Like, because again, there was a discussion of like, leakers tend to leak, right? Or data miners tend to, if they want to, tend to leak. And there seemed to be a general consensus for quite a long time that like, that would just be a dumb decision to do that. Like, what would be the benefit of actually doing that? Because if anything, it just panics the developers who go, oh shit. Do we need to beef up security? Do we need to change codes? Do we need to blah, 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 a million trillion things. So maybe it makes sense to keep our goddamn mouth shut and just kind of wait this out, because the game will be out eventually, and then once it's out, it's kind of like, well, the floodgates will somewhat be opened at that point. Obviously, someone decided to change that, but that's their prerogative to do so. But, yeah. Moot point now. I mean, unless they revive it. Unless they somehow are able to, like, revive the content. I'm going to open another one. I'm going to open 2 packs on this stream. There's another Crown Zenith. Sora, yeah, sort of Sora. I think you're actually right. Would you think it's an overall good thing to have leaks out? I, I mean, releasing information at a rate the developers don't want. Imagine you've worked so creatively hard on something for years, for months, and you're like, okay, we as a company have decided we're going to put it out on this date. And then some other guy gets in front of you, he's like, oh no, I've decided it's going to be right now because I found it. Like, oh, fuck you. That's like a huge amount of my life's work you've decided that you wanted to take the credit for, and you get the announcement for, and you ruin our plans, blah, 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 blah. Like, but then eventually it becomes lost media, right? And it's like, is it better that it sees the light of day than not see the light of day at all? Then I tend to say, well, yeah, it probably is better that it sees the light of day than not at all. So, but we're in this weird point now where, like, it might not be going forever, even though it does seem extremely dire. But I don't know if we should count it out entirely just yet. Purloin. Love Disc. Chatter. Yanma. Portyard. A reverse Tapu Lele. Into a Yarn Mega. Okay, well, that's the bad packs out of the way. So the next ones must be amazing. Lunatone, Solrock, Crocodile. Does he respond to cancellations like this? Too insignificant to care? Or do you think they have a role in decisions maybe by? To me, this reads as more of a Square Enix one than a Disney one. This is how I read it. It's based on absolutely nothing at all. I don't know, but this is how I read it. As more of Square trying to shake things up and not do a million mobile game projects and just focus more in on AAA, like kind of refine their efforts rather than having a bunch of scattered little projects, hoping that one would hit it big. More cards, yeah. Favorite Pokemon? Ooh, good question. Good question. The only reason something had to cancel it. Spider-Man 2 underperformed and Sony Japan stepped in to lessen the pilot. I don't know about that, but to give us save for the next Kyra. Yeah, no more YOLO 3000 jewel pulls. Like, I think there is such a thing as like diluting themselves too much. Do you notice that, like, I'm going to make a terrible comparison here, but like, I don't know. I feel like I almost never tweet unless I have like something to say. I feel like you can like run the risk of diluting yourself creatively or like lessening your own impact. Not that, like, again, some dickhead with a Twitter account is not by any means comparable, but like I can see an argument of spreading yourselves too thin, like making yourself too available and diluting your own, like, whatever importance you are able to maintain. Considerably less than one when it should have sold close to the same or more. I don't know how it could sell close to the same or more when it was a PS5 exclusive. A console with a much lower install base to my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't know. It was also based on, like, it was a sequel to not only Spider-Man 1, but also like DLC. Maybe that played a role? I don't know. I don't know, man. I just like hanging out with you guys and talking. I know nothing, but it is fun to just like theorize on stuff. I'm at a weird point though, like if data mine stuff does become publicly available, then it's like, okay, well, now I guess I'll talk about it. Like, is that okay if it's just so out there everywhere? Because I do want to talk about stuff with you guys. A missing link in Kingdom Hearts 4 almost like bundle. Yeah. I mean, that'd be amazing. It's just like, where's the money to do that? Like, everyone right now saying like, oh, just make it into a back cover style movie. Like, yeah, great. We're in this hypothetical world again in which we have like infinite money to spend on things when you literally have this new CEO stepping in and like trying to trim the fat any way that he can. When this game is already so close to release and they still decide to cancel it, I don't see how more money gets poured into this project for more development time. I think we're losing a lot, Dan. I think we're losing a lot. God, I hope they don't scrap it. I hope it ends up being used again. It would be heartbreaking if this stuff gets completely lost. I've talked about this before, but like, I had a podcast with Sonny once upon a time, and I think I started talking out like hypotheticals where I'm like, okay, what do I think the plot of Missing Link is about? And at the time, this is years ago, how do I say this? How do I say this? Again, so let's say it's 2 or 3 years ago. Missing Link is being revealed, but it's like, okay, what is it about? At the time, I'd said, okay, well, let's think about it, right? All the clues that we have so far is the initial Missing Link trailer. And we have this guy called, at the end of Union Cross, this guy called Sigurd approaches this guy called Brain, who has time traveled into the future, and he seems to have used the Book of Prophecies and this knowledge, right? He's got there because someone has given him, either he has the book, whatever group he belongs to has this book that says what's going to happen and when. We've just seen, in the Union Cross finale, we've just seen Brain give his Keyblade to Ephema and the Book of Prophecies, okay? We've seen Ephema rebuild a world called Scarlet Aghaim, okay? It's plausible that like Ephema builds this world and then like has this book in his hand, has his Keyblade in his hand, grows to the end of his natural life, dies, but always gives it on to his apprentice, successor, whatever you want to call it, and says, you kind of use these tools to kind of keep this world going, whatever. But one day, Back to the Future 2 style, or Back to the Future style, this guy called Brain's going to show up, and you loyal to me, are going to be there to like pick him up for me, okay? Just take care of him, give him his Keyblade back, give him the Book of Prophecies back. So, but then I'm like, okay, cool. Then this Missing Link trailer comes out and it's like, okay, there's this world of societies and there's multiple societies, and it's like, okay, we'd already seen Sigurd was like, okay, well, let's not talk here, let's talk back at headquarters. And it's like, headquarters, okay. So this guy, Sigurd, in theory, following the order of the Book of Prophecies, has a headquarters, okay? And they don't want to do this out in the open. That's not explicitly said, but I'm like, they're not staying and chatting right now. They're like, let's go have a chat somewhere else. It's like, okay, if he's doing something, is there people that are trying to counter that? Or will there people be working against that goal? And then, like I said, the Missing Link trailer comes out and it's like societies. I'm like, okay, what if? And I remember the quote from like Birth by Sleep Xehanort reports, where it's like a whole spectrum of conflict. Keyblade wielders fighting for light and darkness and the whole spectrum of thought in between, something like that. And that just popped into my mind. I'm thinking like, okay, well, what if there are societies that some are following the words of the Book of Prophecies, some are going against the words of the Book of Prophecies? Sigurd would be one that follows, but he's like, would there be others that would try and get in the way of this meeting if they knew when it would happen? Like, if there are multiple societies, do they each have a copy of the book? Do they only have like a fraction of it? Like, was it too powerful to be kept all in one piece? Was it divided into like 7, 10, 13 pieces, let's say, and given to these different societies so that no one would know the true future all on their own, but you each knew like a little piece of it? I don't know. Would there be... Would ever Sigurd's organization be trying to like... Because the Book of Prophecies ends with, then the world died, right? The ending page is, and so light expired and darkness prevailed. So it's like, even if you weren't evil, you might be looking at that going, well, I don't want that. Why are we going with what the book says? Because the book leads to hell. Like, let's do something different. Other people will be like, well, the future that we know is better than the one that we don't know, so let's stick with this. Like, this is the spectrum of thought I'm talking about. Like, other people are like, yeah, forget it, we should not do this entirely, forget all of this. Other people are like, yeah, let's use it a little bit, but then try and let's experiment with veering off course. Like, there'd be this whole different schools of thought about it. So this was the thought 2 or so years ago. It's possible that I was on the right track. Not exactly. And I don't know, again, I don't know this 100%, but it's possible that I was on a pretty well on the right track there. But you'd have to extend that idea a lot further than where I kind of left off to get to the actual truth of it. I left off with that. I didn't take that thought to kind of like the furthest extension of where it ends up going. That's probably all I should say on that subject. And again, I'm definitely not 100% correct, and I kind of was being told, and I was like, I don't want to know. Like, I would rather find out in the game itself. So yeah, everything I just said may be 100% incorrect, but it's kind of in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like, you could go further than what I just said and kind of... Yeah, let's leave it there. So publicly, Nintendo Goo? I believe so, yeah. Behind the scenes, no, but so publicly, yes. To my knowledge. I can't think of anything else that was treated in this regard. I think so, nah. Yeah, I think so. Tristan, yeah, I'm working on it. Do you guys want to hear some? Oh, let me show you this. So, okay. So this got super complicated, right? When you select your party, right, so it's kind of like in order now. The last time I showed you this, I didn't have it like in order. All right, so what I want to do is... kind of like let you guys make a choice about who you want to bring with you in each episode, and then it's like choose your own adventure style, right? So like cutscene up to cutscene 5 plays. Okay, so how should we do this? Then it cuts. Then you kind of like jump around the video to who you want to pick, and then like if you let it like stay, it would start playing as a mod. Blah 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 blah. Then a mod goes with you to Agrabah. Again, I haven't chosen all the lines yet, but let's just...
This doesn't look so bad. Guess I was wrong.
We just got here. They've got to be heartless.
Plays. Okay, then content. But then eventually we're going to meet back up, so... Okay, so we meet back up. So this is kind of interesting where it's like... You land, obviously, with the party member that came with you. And then Erd will say, we just got here, unless she's in your party, in which case... Ver says it, I think? Your party member always says, that's your MO here. Let me try and unpause to see if I can make it.
Bet you got scared and ran. Huh?
That's your MO.
And the girls laugh.
MO.
Yeah, so I haven't it's not in proper order yet. But then yeah. Yeah, so like for example, like if you bought Bragi, who says it there? Okay, Ermod says we just got here. Okay, and then Bragi's the one that says that's your MO, and then he also says same here. So yeah, it's gonna be just a fucking pain to edit all this, but I think it's gonna be worth it. let you guys like make your choice, and that way every single bit of content is included. I'd make no editorial choices. You can make it exactly how you want to have it. I think it makes more sense to like, rather than put all the choices in for like all the other characters now, I'm only putting in like Urd's lines, for example.
Same here.
She's so good. And then I'll make the choices, then I'll copy and paste the chosen lines into this scene, into this point on the timeline.
That's your MO.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But just, yeah, a lot of work. But yeah, I was literally getting ready to do this on Tuesday, like edit this with you guys, because I'm at a point now where I'm like, had a lot of life stuff happened. But I'm kind of ready to get back on the horse with this. I'm in the States, I can't work here, but it's like I can do this. Yeah, very, very great.
All right, round 2.
Yeah, it's just so much. There's about 2,000 lines, plus I'm duplicating a bunch for like a bunch of scenes, so there's a lot to do still. And I haven't actually cast all the upperclassmen yet. That's where I got kind of hung up the first like a year ago, where I'm like, okay, let me finish casting all these. I had a hard time with Vidar, because I had a lot of really good performances, but it wasn't 100% what I was looking for. And I was like, okay, I'll do more calls. And then life just got ahead of me, and didn't reach out to any of the upperclassmen, because I'm like, I'll do them all in one. I'll do them all together. I'll call out all together. And I didn't have my 7, so I didn't contact anyone. So I've only just like this last couple of weeks started contacting people. I've had their names written in the book, my little notebook, for a year, 14 months now. I'm like, hey, I'm finally reaching out to you. Sorry, it took so long, but would you like to be in this project? And they're like, yeah. Everyone's been really cool about it. So I'm like, awesome, great, let's do it. So I've still got to contact a bunch of upperclassmen. Wait, stop it. And this will basically be next. So, okay, so I'll show this. So, there's a little document we're working off. Okay, so obviously I have a Master of Masters still from my previous project. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm going to be calling out for Xehanort, Ericus, Anthem Seeker of Darkness, and probably Hades. Maybe even Jafar pretty soon, because I still have this many characters to cast. But they only have a tiny amount of lines each, so it's like, I kind of don't have to get this done immediately. The other characters, Xehanort and Ericus, have about 400 each. So it seemed more imperative to get them going first. Ericus is actually done. Ericus kicked ass. He's done. Again, my fault. I dilly-dallied with getting Xehanort, so he's not done yet. But yeah, a lot of it. Well, sorry, young Ericus is done. I haven't actually asked for old Ericus yet. But if you guys know anyone that you've ever heard on stream, or your friends, or on a Discord call where you're playing a game, and someone has done a good Xehanort, Ericus, any of the Disney characters, Vanitas, any of these guys at all, hit me up and send me a little list. Be like, hey, this guy sounds just like Lumiere, or any of the characters you see listed down here in this game, because that would save me a shit ton of time. The Cabletown library from that KH4 behind closed doors trailer people recreated. Really? Didn't that one end up being basically what we saw with the illustration? The one from that ended up being the opening scene from KH4? Maybe I'm wrong, Eric. When's it coming out? It's hard to say. I would love to get it done before Reconnect, which is in 2 months. I don't know if that's possible. I will do my damnedest to get it done as much as I can in the next 2 months, because I would love to go to Reconnect with this thing finished. Would love that. Would love that, love that, love that. Will it be possible? We'll see. I am quite a lot freer now, and I want to do at least 1 or 2 editing streams a week. On like probably Tuesdays and Saturdays, I think. I would do streams doing this. But yeah, we'll see. As soon as it can. Short answer. Long answer. I don't know. Life gets in the way sometimes. I'm not going to lie. This news about Missing Link has bummed me out. And it definitely I didn't feel like editing at all today. Because I'm like, fucking what's the point? KH is in dire straits right now. This project is meant to connect to Missing Link. Meant to give people context for Missing Link. Missing Link is now dead. What's the point? I was in a little depressive spiral today. But I will persevere. We will persevere. I do want to get this done for you guys. Anyway, it's getting a little late and I want to wake the house up with my rambling, so I might be here on Saturday to do a stream. Maybe Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see. I want to do one soon though. But hey Luffy, how are you? Try for Kingdom Hearts 4 at D23X Pro TGS Summer Games first, maybe too quick, you never know. Yeah, I don't know. There's part of me that thinks that Missing Link at one point in time might have had a trailer at SGF. And I kind of can't say why, but yeah, it might have been possible. 4, God only knows. I think they weren't ready to show that off just yet, and we just sort of got 7 screenshots that just kind of cobbled together. I think they scrambled to get this done. They're called screenshots, and I'm glad they don't really spoil anything. I'm so thrilled they don't spoil anything, whilst also giving people some good news that the game's still alive and some cool new info to think about. 4 and Part 3 coming out 2027. Interesting. I mean, I would hope that 4 is coming out next year. Yeah. I know nothing about that, by the way. Whatever I know zero about KH4. Nothing. Not a friggin' thing. Yeah, Deltarune on the horizon. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. Well, it's been very good to hang out with you guys. I don't know if I'll be back on Twitch next. So if you guys do want to hang out, I'll probably do these on Twitch just because I feel like these suit my Twitch channel better than they suit my YouTube channel. So if you like to hang out, I'd love that a lot. Like I said, it will almost certainly be on my Twitch channel though. So if you want to come give me a little follow, I'd much appreciate that. But yeah, we'll have plenty more time to talk Kingdom Hearts theories. I don't know, get me drunk one day. Maybe I'll say something I shouldn't. Oh, fuck. I can't believe it's cancelled. Alright, take care, guys. 4, 13, 27, 7, 7, 27 a dates that make sense. That's really cool. That's good insight. Not being a slideshow. I don't know what the fuck happened there. That's so weird. Oh, Day Studio. Take care, man. Good to see you. Are you coming to Reconnect? Anyway, alright. Bye, guys. I was going to raid, but like, we're on YouTube. We don't raid. Do you? Do you raid here? I don't even know.